Hey guys, how's it going? I was going to show y'all my winter project here. We bought this drill. I don't know, we bought it back in September or October or something. It's a John Deere 1560. And I guess it's an older unit. I don't know exactly what year it is, but it was wore slam out. And let me try to find the disc here. I've been working on it. I've already done most of the rear gang. I hadn't put these two back together yet because I needed to put new bushings up there where it keeps them from. See, this one here is still moved back and forth some. I just rebushing these two up there because they were moving so much they were rubbing each other right here. So I'm not too concerned about the rest of them moving a little bit. I don't think it's going to be a big deal. I guess somebody will let me know that's more familiar with these. But these discs on this thing, these are new discs here. They're 18 inches in diameter. Well, here is one of the old discs, and it is about 12 inches in diameter. Let me get a new disc and put it on the table and I'll show you. Okay, here's my box of parts. I got this stuff from Needham Ag right here. Seems to be really good stuff. I got all kinds of different stuff. Here's some depth gauge arms, Furman wheels, all new boots. A lot of them I done put on, obviously. All new discs. The axles were stuck. The depth axle was stuck. Everything was completely destroyed except for the bearings that these discs run on. That was the only thing that wasn't wore out. So every one of those I've took apart have been nicely greased. The seals are still intact, so I'm not having to put bearings in. But I want you to look at the difference. Look at the difference right here in the old disc and the new disc. The manufacturer, John Deere, says when this disc is wore off 1 inch of this disc, it's time to replace it. There's like I had a ruler in my pocket a minute ago, but that's like 4 inches right there gone. So anyway, crazy how bad this thing's wore. Which that wore, all these parts right here in the floor are wore out. These are the old axles. I had to cut them off just to get in there to get the nut off, to get to the disc, get the disc hub and everything off. Because I'm putting new, I got a box of spindles over here too. I'm putting all new spindles on. Because those other pieces I showed y'all, the depth gauge axles, they are all seized up inside of these. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you have this part. There is the hub that the disc is on, goes on here, and you have a nut that holds the hub together. This goes through the arm that I was showing y'all a minute ago. That's attached to the drill. Then you got the hub and the disc. This is a depth gauge axle, and it goes inside. See which way does it go? It goes like this. Yeah, it goes inside of this piece. And the old ones were all froze up. You could not get them loose. So I had to cut this part off with a bandsaw. I used a porter band and cut this off. Then that let me get to the nut. Once you take this nut off, you just pull this whole thing right here out, throw it away. So that's what I did. It makes it a whole lot simpler than trying to get all them axles freed up out of this spindle. Needham, they sent good instructions for every part that I bought. Sent detailed instructions on how to use it, how to rebuild it, how to put it together. Everything. This is a new seed boot. I went from the old 60 series seed boots to the 90 series seed boots. That's what Needham Ag recommended. So I did that. This is the 60 series seed boot that was on it. Of course, they're wore slam out. But anyway, they're junk. They were supposedly junk when they made those 60 series boots. All these arms right here got closing wheels on them. They're not wore out. They're okay. These right here, Furman wheels, they're all wore out. So I'm replacing those. I've got the front gang all stripped down. I've been working on that. I got to start putting those back together. We have some other issues like wore out chains, wore out chain going up here, got some missing tubes. Got a new pressure gauge, down pressure gauge to go on here. Need to get some new tires for the front. They're wore slam out. Jack handles broke. Just a lot of little things. All these tubes right here, whoever was using it, all of them was stopped up basically. I hadn't cleaned them all out yet. All these rubber hoses, a lot of them, I think this is a factory hose, is what's supposed to be on it. Somebody tried to replace some of them with these long hoses and it would leave. So anyway, this thing was too long. You know, this was the stock one. Somebody put these on there apparently. Anyway, they would droop in the middle. And there's 16 of these. 16 of these. And they hook together like this. You know, I'm not going to hook it back up, but this hooks to this. And then this, I don't know if y'all can see, it's a little dark in here, but they hook on, let's get over here where it's a little more light maybe. Oh, they hook on to this thing and then lay on this bar right here. And then we'll go to the back. Since I've got those mostly assembled, I don't have the seed tube where they actually hook up to it yet. But it hooks to the boot right here, sticks up. You can see this bar right here. That tube lays on the bar, then the rubber hose goes down to here, hooks on to the seed tube, which I don't have on there yet, but comes out of this boot, which I've done put the boots on these back here, and this disc on. While y'all wasn't looking there for a second, I put that on and put these two seed boots on, and they are spring loaded. There's a spring in there that actually keeps them pushed up against the disc, and that's the way they're designed. So basically what this thing is doing is, you know, there's a metering device in the bottom of this big seed bin up here. You fill that full of seed, then there's a chain that drives this mechanism up here. Here's some gears and stuff, but it drives the mechanism inside these, which actually grabs seed from inside this big hopper, then drops it out the bottom of these. I don't exactly know what you call these things, but it's kind of like a funnel that lets it go into those tubes, and then the seed drops down through those tubes, through the rubber boots, and into the seed boots, which these are the seed boots. And this thing sticking out here is what they call a seed tab. It keeps the seed from bouncing back out of the groove that the disc opens up. There's a hole right here that the seed comes out of. See, when the disc is on here, the hole is right here. So the disc is opening the ground up, a narrow slot. The seed drops in the ground. Then we'll go over here, one that I've got almost finished. There's a Furman wheel. That's what this green wheel is. It goes right in the groove that the disc has opened up. It compresses the seed into the dirt, gets good seed contact. And then this is what they call the closing wheel, which I did not replace the closing wheels because all the bearings were good and tight. But one thing I did have to replace was a lot of these springs were broken. And then the bushings in here, which is the same place. Over here, it's just I hadn't put it together yet. Here and here, same place, just different row. So the spring goes on right here, where my hand is. This bushing, I've done rebuilt this bushing here. We're putting new bushings in this area that this right here pivots on. See, this pivots. And that spring keeps the down pressure. And then that's what they call the closing wheel arm. Then this other spot right here is where the Furman wheel arm bolts on, and it also had to have new bushings. So it's all new bushings. Here's this one. It has the depth axle already. I've put the depth axle in. Here's the depth arm. This is how you adjust the depth. There's a wheel that's not been bolted onto this arm yet, and this arm adjusts that wheel, which controls the depth that you put the seed in the ground. I'll show you those wheels in just a second. We got all new wheels. But anyway, there's a gate and a T-handle missing here that I have not put on yet. I chucked all the T-handles because they were wore out, and all the gates. But anyway, here's the gate. And here's one of the T-handles that goes on top of that depth gauge arm, and it basically fits in. Oh shoot, hold on a minute. I'm trying to hold the camera with my chin, so I may sound a little bit funny, but this thing goes in there like that, and it goes on top of that depth arm, and you can adjust the depth. Is what's and these wheels over here, here's some of the old ones, but all the bearings were out of all of them, so we got all new wheels. These are the depth gauge wheels. We'll put those on, and so I'm not quite done with the back yet, but the reason I hadn't finished it is because I don't have the new T-handles yet. And in order to put the T-handles on, you have to have this depth gauge or this gate off. And I've got all new gates. Right here's one of the new gates. I got all these new because the old ones, the notches are wore out in them, and that'll let the depth gauge wheel move up and down too much. So anyway, that's kind of an overview of where I'm at with this seeder. We're going to have a lot of money in it. Gave $7,000 for this seeder, and in the shape it was in, we knew it was in bad shape. We didn't know it was in as bad a shape as it was because we didn't know anything about these seeders. But it's all right. We are spending about $8,500 on it to rebuild it. But I think it'll be worth it in the end. It's just, it's just a lot of stuff to do, but and a lot of parts, but when we get done, we'll know we have a pretty solid machine, and we'll have less than 20,000 in it. If you go to buy one of these in good condition, you're looking at least 20,000. Most of them are 25 to 30,000. So we're still in the good as far as that goes. And everything on it's going to be new for that price. You know, all the mechanisms are going to be new. Whereas if you buy one for 25 or 30,000, you may have one that's half wore out as far as the discs and the seat boots and everything go. This one's going to have everything new on it for less than $20,000. So, and this one it's 10 foot wide. And yeah, that's about all I can tell you about it. Came from a local dairy farm. We bought it off a guy that had a dairy farm here near us, but he sold his dairy farm out and selling most of his equipment. But this machine, I don't think he didn't use it all that much. I don't think. I think he bought it used, and it was probably in the condition that it was in when we bought it. And because I don't think they didn't replace anything on it, obviously, and it's got about 1 million acres on it, obviously. So anyway, I wanted y'all to see what I was doing and give you an update on this thing. Y'all have probably seen it sitting around here, and finally got it in the shop, started working on it. So all right, hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we'll see y'all later.